Gentlemen, could you please grab a seat someplace comfortable? I think we're actually technically live on Facebook, right? Not just technically, we are live. We are live on Facebook, so make yourself comfortable, and then who's going to start off? Oh, they're doing intros. So I just think like I was for Facebook. All right. So welcome everyone for our Delta Platoon graduation. We're going to have a little demonstration by our 4 soon-to-be graduates of the app they built over the last 2 weeks. And when they're done, we'll actually go through with the graduation. So I'm going to hand the floor to Deja, Mickey, John, and Alex.
Full screens.
All right, so welcome everyone here. So we are so glad to be here, and I hope you enjoy our presentation. So now our final project is called Tuna Pen. Okay, let's get it begin. And my name is Mickey Wishwalk. I'm actually working as a financial analyst for the Army. I stationed in Germany for 3 years.
Hi, my name is Deja Baker. I was a cryptology technician in the Navy for 7 years.
Hi, my name is John Day. I was in the Navy for 11 years. I was a naval flight officer on the P-309.
My name is Alexander Sachs. I'm in the Army National Guard, degree in engineering.
And you can see before we got here today, so it's been our journey for us. So it has been for 14 weeks. So we have done so much stuff and have been so many cool tech company. So and today we combine everything that we have learned and we combine all together and come up with a final project that we can see very soon. So and Capstone allows us to have a good opportunity to move on to a vision. So and we're so thankful for the organization and thankful for all you that support us. Include the mentorship, the TA and teacher and the portfolio of the organization. So and you can see from the Alright, so you may have the first question why the tuna pen? So as you can see, we have done some research that we have the big Twitter account is called Q Agency. And this account is anything about the pen. So and we can see that this account they have almost like 8 million people actually follow this app. So and that's why we come up with the idea that everyone loves the pen. Who doesn't love the pen, right? So then most of the owners actually love the dog, the cat, and they like to share and like show off like their own pet. So and even more, they want to confirm that that pet is actually the cutest one out there. That's why we are here. We provide a toner pet to actually like help them to confirm that okay, that pet is actually cute. So the way we actually doing is so we just let them like post their own like funny pet, funny dog, and just have interaction with other people in the community. And even though we let anyone actually vote for it to actually confirm it's actually that one.
So some of the user interaction, users can sign up and create a profile for themselves or their pets. They can add photos of their dogs and tag them. They can enter the photos in tournaments where users can vote on each pet so they can go into different rounds. And based on the votes, they proceed through the rounds in the tournament till there's a winner.
All right, I'm going to give a demonstration of the site. So for this demonstration, I'm going to pretend that I am Paris Hilton, logging into the site to participate in a contest to show off my dogs. And you get to the site, and so click on Get Started, and the first thing I'm going to see is a list of all the puppies on the site. It's going to be the latest puppies to be uploaded to the website, and I can go into my own account and I can see my own pets right here. So Tinkerbell right there, and I can click on Tinkerbell and see all Tinkerbell's photos. I can click on this photo and post a comment. I don't think Paris Hilton would say that, but something to that effect. And I can also add my own pet here or update my own account information. And we also have an option here if you forget your password that you can email out a new password through registration. So the meat of the site is this tournaments right here. So let's say I want to enter a picture of my pet Tinkerbell into the tournament. I'll click on here. I'll tag my picture and enter into the tournament. And then I'd go to vote. And so the preliminary round of this tournament is just going to be kind of like a hot or not style, built-in React front end right here. So you can vote on the puppies, and it's 0 to 5 points. Keep going through the list, and this updates every 5 seconds with the current scores for those puppies. It was already pre-seeded, so that's why you see all these scores over here. And once Paris gets through seeing all the puppies, she gets to a site like this, a screen like this, where showing that all the pictures have been viewed already. So essentially, what we originally wanted to do was like have a tournament, a preliminary round that would last through a week, and then at the end of the week there'd be like a weekend bracket. So, but for the current iteration, we have John over here being the administrator, and he's gonna create the next round. So she's gonna come back here to all current tournaments, and it's gonna be the next round. And oh, you got in there yet? Are you logged into mine? Okay. As you can see, we have 2 different tournaments going on: the Cutest Puppy and Holiday Fun. So, Cutest Puppy. All right. Oh, still going? Okay. All right. All right, great. So now we're in the bracket round of Cutest Puppy, and as you can see, there are 8 different puppies competing in 4 different matches. So Paris might go over here, and for the current iteration, it's all like pictures type media, but we essentially wanted to have video as well. So this could be like iframes with video, and so she might click on Curly. She's going to vote for Curly. In this one, she's obviously going to vote for herself, and then Gus, click on Gus, and Scout right there. If she tries to vote twice, she'll get, oh, you can only vote once in each match. So let's say there's like 100 people voted for the first round, and then the admin will come in and see the next round. You good? Okay, so move on to the next round, round of 4. Votes right there. Oh, she didn't like her own dog. There we go. Okay, see the next round. Good. All right. Cool. All right, and so after there's a winner, all the other links are blacked out, and she can only click on Curly, and Curly now has a badge next to his name as the winner of the tournament, and I could go into his picture and be like, great job. Great job. All right, other things we implemented in this website, we have a search. You could search by Curly right here. You could search for a user like Paris, or by her last name. Yep, came up as well. And so I think you can search by first name, last name, username, and pet name, breed as well. Are there beagles on there?
Do French bulldog. There's a beagle dog.
There's a beagle? Okay, let's see if there's a beagle. Oh, there's a beagle. Okay, Boomer right there. So then you can view Boomer and his other pictures too. Anything I forgot to mention, guys?
Just the next song.
Oh yeah, okay. And also we have a nice link on here that if you wanted to, you're interested in learning about breeds, you can pull off a whole list of breeds and go to our site and learn about Hova wort. If you ever wanted to learn about Hova worts, and then also we can have links to pet adoption site as well. So just in case you're interested in adopting a pet. So it's pretty much tore through our site right there. Okay, next slide. Okay.
Here's some of the technologies that we use in our app. Mainly it was Rails on top of React, or React on top of Rails, and we use Amazon Web Services for the photos. We also use Ruby and JavaScript on the back end, and on the front end, CSS and Bootstrap.
Okay.
Just wanted to cover a couple of quick challenges or main learning points that we had as we built the app. One of the big things that we looked at is you can go to the next slide too. We'll look at the database and then the React.js and Rails relationship. But the main thing I want to cover is the database schema for us. This is kind of what it looked like when you draw it out. We had gone from doing a couple tables, maybe like one nested resource, that type of thing, or maybe on our individual project doing 4 tables max, to going to 10 tables with 2 join tables. So multiple stringed like methods of finding, working all the way from entry to user, working all the way back to maintain the vote checks. So in other words, once a user has made a vote on a match, not being able to do that again, that's where that vote check join table comes in. So just working through that, learning that, also building out sort of API calls to call back to the Rails backend from React to be able to kind of pass that information back and forth for the scores and whether or not they voted and those things. It was a little bit of a challenge, but a great learning experience for us.
So I'm talking a little bit about React on Rails, and some of the advantages I've seen. It was difficult to implement, of course, but it's kind of convenient for passing in data from your controller. You pass it right into your view, and straight into the React app without having to have a fetch. For a site, I think that's predominantly going to be like a create, read, update site. Sort of implementing React in there may be kind of useful if you have a couple of dynamic aspects to it. Challenges, of course, for me, predominantly was utilizing Webpack. There weren't many places to look or people to talk to get help with Webpack implementation in Rails. It's kind of something new. I think Rails 5, they're moving towards Webpack and Yarn as their predominant tools for packaging ES scripts. That's it.
Thanks very much. Taking questions for a bit.
I'm impressed you got so robust a search functionality. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, like, you want to see like how it's done, or?
Well, yeah, just
Okay.
go over how you chose which things could be searched and what's agreed for that.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to return if there's like a dog named something and a person named something, it's going to return it both.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a lot of logic put into the search function. Yeah.
If you had another week to do this project, yeah.
I thought we had another slide for that,
Yeah,
but
well, I can add that.
might make it, yeah.
Well, basically, I think like the next step that we can do, you can see from what we have so far, so we can adapt by UI and UX, so we can make like user interface and user experience a little bit like better. Maybe easy like for people to like get around like the website, and even more we can like make it more like easy for, because right now when we feed the tournament, so it's like we controlled by the admin, so we can let the user be the one who actually like feed the tournament, like when set the timeline. Okay, this tournament is going on for like 1 week, 2 week, or a month. So at the end we can refactor in like the coding that we have done, because we have a lot of like coding, like a lot of files, so we can like fix that a little bit. Like, and so far it has been done like pretty well within a week. So if we got more time, we can do like a lot more like stuff than this.
At least see like videos implemented in there as well, and just yeah, like I think a better user interface. Yeah, that's
Will it
that was.
also allow users to make tournaments?
Yeah.
That would be the.
So what led to the decision to have React in the mix? Because I know for a lot of you guys that learning Rails, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript all at the same time apparently wasn't enough.
I just like thought about it like a tournament bracket, and to me like something that you kind of want to like have more dynamic. I mean, it's not. I mean, right now it's only showing like one thing, but I was kind of thinking like a bracket where you could like highlight over a name and see something or see like a path. I wanted to like put like a whole bunch of like different little things in there to make it more interesting to see. Just as it is, it's kind of like static. But I was thinking like React. Let's use this technology to challenge ourselves a little bit.
We thought it would be interesting to see, especially on the leaderboard, as you're there and you're voting or you're running through. If there are 100 pet pictures you're running through, you're seeing the actual scoreboard moving as you're like voting, and there's no refresh or something like that. So that's sort of the idea we had.
So you said the leaderboard was updating every 5 seconds?
Yeah, every 5 seconds.
So what could you do to make that real time?
Well, actually, I kind of implemented in my independent project like a WebSockets-based real-time chat. So conceivably, we could have sent that by sockets, and it would have been real-time.
One of our other next steps was kind of to run another backend server for things like that. Also for chat, like the chat functionality real-time. That could be going on as the people are voting in the tournament as well. So again, like another one of our next steps we could possibly look at.
Yeah, so this is really impressive, the amount of functionality y'all did in such a short time. So kudos for that. I'm curious on the testing front, did y'all do much in terms of automated testing, or was it kind of try to get your stack stood up and then kind of manually test through the UI?
I think we a lot of the logic we put into modules and set up tests for those. But yeah, we like controllers. We didn't really have a lot of time to do full testing of all that.
We ran out of time. We really want to get in the capybara more and things like that, but we just kind of hit a wall at the end.
That doesn't really happen in real systems. You always test everything before you ship anything, so don't worry about it.
What did each of you do? What was your specific role on this?
Sure. I guess like React.
I mainly built all the tournament portion of the back end, handled all the migrations, building all the seed files, handling all the logic for the way the actual tournament breaks down. So like actually building up the 16 versus 1 and then working through that. So all that heavy back-end logic is the stuff I worked on.
I worked on a few components with React. That was like a learning curve for me. I did a lot of stuff with Devise. I set up like the user authentication and my newsletter opener to make sure it could send emails for passwords. I did a lot of front end stuff too, actually. So,
Well, for me, I kind of focus more on the front end side, like do some like videos and have like multimedia on the website a little bit, and kind of make sure that everything has the same layout, and yeah, basically.
We all trusted Bootstrap and CSS.
oh yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about your non-technical team dynamics? Like, did someone choose to or fall into a product manager role, or did you share those responsibilities?
I think we divided it up pretty well. Like there was always something like somebody was willing to grab. Kind of. I mean, we started out with Trello, and so that kind of helped us sort of divide up the stories. But I think towards the end, it was like, that we were like pretty good about.
Yeah, I mean, we were fortunate enough to be hosted by Pivotal and get some like help and instruction at the beginning as far as here's how you set up Trello. Like here's how it should flow through week to week. We did while we were there, we were definitely doing morning stand-ups every morning. So we get together and talk about what we did the day before and what we were going to do today. But mainly, it was a single sprint for the most part. So we grabbed the stories we could and got through them, and then we would grab the next one and do them as much as we could with the 4 of us. But yeah, it was a great learning experience as far as handling the actual project mechanics.
I guess how was your guys as a team? I mean, how did you work together? Was it primarily everybody just taking a story at the end of the day and working through it? Was there any pair programming at all?
Yeah, with the time we had and the number of people, we just kind of went individual, and then we would pair as necessary for the most part. There was a lot of back and forth just helping each other because someone had probably handled that problem before through the class, and so as we ran into problems, we just kind of hit up the team and see who had seen that before, and then get together and work on it for a bit, and then get it solved, and then move on, go back to our stories, and churn through like that.
I mean, database was definitely all of the team together. We were doing that. Mm-hmm.
What was the date?
Postgres.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we hit at the end here, Alex has been working really hard, and then reaching out to a lot of people to get help is getting the React portion that's sitting on Rails deployed to Heroku. So currently, like everything, we have it on Heroku right now, but that tournament portion that's in React isn't working because of that Webpack issue. So we're sorting through that. Like he's been he's been working on it for days now, trying to get that thing working and pushed to Heroku. But it's there, and our Rails portions are working, but we're just still struggling with actually how to get that deployed up using that Webpacker. Get that issue that's going on.
Obviously, you should be running it on AWS.
Next time, really.
Yeah.
We got a shout out to AWS for the free Bucket
Yeah.
S3 server.
All our images are hosted there, so it's really helpful.
If you ever run out of space, maybe you'll be willing to donate some.
It's free space. When this thing really takes off.
One more question? Anyone?
Are there cases where somebody's commit like broke everything? How did you handle that?
Not until like 1 hour ago. No, for the most part, yeah, everyone was really good about. So our process was we would anything we were working on, if we were taking a new story, we'd merge off or create a branch, work on it, and then ended up pushing up to master and then making a PR. And then we would go and review it. Like we would have someone usually review it for us, and then everyone would kind of say, okay, there's any conflicts, any issue, and then we would just merge it to master. Everyone would pull. So we were putting out cycle time, pull, and just pulling down on our branch and on master when we went back to master. So we didn't have any issues at all until messing with this Heroku stuff.
Well, I mean,
it wasn't really an issue there either.
There were some interesting issues, I would say, with Yarn. I think they're trying to bring in Yarn in Rails 5. So I think we had having like 4 different people and maybe slight variations in versions. We were getting like integrity check errors like every time we pulled, then having to run Yarn again. It was weird. Like in the end, I had to literally like revert back to an old commit because I couldn't get rid of the Yarn integrity check. Except in setting it to false, but that didn't seem like a good solution. Yeah.
Just for the scheduler, you said something updates every 5 seconds. What is doing that?
Oh, it's running fetch to an API in Rails. Yeah.